Hi, I'm Tiara, and this is Dan, and we are here with our
official dog of pop cults.
Official dog of pop cults with our first pop cults television review, and today we're going to be talking about the 2-hour season finale of Fringe.
Yeah, and they put everything in there from the first several seasons, and it was action packed. And we're here to talk about what we thought of it. So why don't you start us off?
First of all, let's get spoiler review out of the way, because if you haven't watched the series finale of Fringe, there are a couple of things. This past season, we've seen a lot of stuff that's very different from the rest of the series, with the future timeline and the observers, and the whole trying to take back the lives of the people who were enslaved by the observers who came back from the future. Because their world sucked. Their fault, I feel.
It's very different from the rest of the series, but it still feels like the rest of the series in a lot of ways because it's the same characters and they're still acting the same way. So it's kind of cool in that respect. But it's a very different plot line and it's been going on for the last few years.
Right. And so the main thing with the series finale is that they finally found September. And they finally found the boy who is the child observer, who actually turned out to be September's son, and he is the key to saving the future. Now, Dan has been more into this last season, I feel, because he is more excited. I have several times made snarky comments during, maybe the last 6 or 7 episodes, where in the next scene, that's exactly what happens. So. Yeah. I feel less of the suspense was there for me, so maybe that made it less, maybe it made it more whelming for me than overwhelming.
Yeah, well, it's very, you're very good at asking the question that they feel needs to be answered immediately. Like, she'll be like, why can't they do this? And the very next scene will be them explaining why they're not doing that.
Yeah, But, so the series finale is 2 episodes. And so what they've decided to do, my prediction near the beginning was that they were going to go back in time and kill the observers when they first arrived.
Yeah.
But what actually is happening is that they have decided to send the child observer into the future at a critical point where humans decided to change their evolution. And so this would reset time and the observers would no longer exist.
Yeah.
However, if that's the case, how could the child observer exist to change this in the future anyways? But who knows? And so...
Well, the paradox goes much further than that, because if you remember, the whole reason... First of all, the reason the Peter in our timeline died is because the observer distracted Walter while he was making the cure for it, and he didn't realize he had made the cure for it.
Right.
And then the observer saved Walter while he was rescuing the other Peter.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole bunch of things that theoretically should never have happened, and the entire series should never have happened, but that doesn't seem to be their conclusion. It's like the changes only go back to a certain point, and then they stop. Which I found to be kind of strange. Yeah,
they aren't really concerned with any of that at all, so...
They didn't really get into the timey-wiminess to the degree you would have thought based on the plot.
Yeah. But it's very interesting. They throughout the season, they've been finding these videotapes that Walter made about the secret plan to save humanity. Yeah. And now they finally figured out what the plan is, because Walter regained some of his memories, and they found September.
Yeah.
And so, they're building this time machine, but of course, all sorts of shit is going really wrong.
Yeah.
Like, what is the name of the observer that hates everyone?
Oh, Widmark.
Widmark.
Yeah, he's gaining the emotions of hate.
Yes, and he hates them all. He hates them so much! And so, he figures out who the dove is.
Yeah. And of course, it's... Our friend, whose name I'm suddenly blanking on, Broyles. Agent Broyles.
It's Agent Broyles, and
is the dove.
So, there's a lot of things that are kind of hampering them going into the future. And then when we get into the finale, it's said that Walter is going to have to go into the future with the child observer, Michael, in order to kind of guide him.
Yeah.
And during the finale, September says that he would like to go because he realizes after watching Peter and Walter that what he feels for Michael, who is his biological offspring, is love. So Walter agrees, but in a plot twist at the very end, September is killed in gunfire while they're trying to get everything going.
Yeah.
And so it does wind up being Walter who goes. And if John Noble does not win all of the awards for everything in his acting, like, he should win, like, an Emmy, he should win an Oscar, he should win a Grammy.
Yeah.
A
Tony Award.
A Tony Award,
His
all of them.
EGOT winner for this episode alone.
MTV People's Choice Award, I don't know. All of the awards for John Noble, because he is amazing. Like, I cried, like, so many times during the finale.
Yeah, and I think that was the thing about the finale was that the plot was very unsurprising.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of simple. It was they had set the whole season up to do it, and there weren't a lot of surprises at that point because the season had been so focused on the plot. But at the same time, I thought, like, pretty much all of the character parts in the finale worked really, really well. Right. I saw you crying, like, when he told Astrid that she had a beautiful name. Yeah. It was so silly because...
It was.
But
I'm going to cry thinking about it.
Yeah, because they were looking at their cow that had been ambered.
Yeah.
That is still there in amber, apparently, in the future.
Yeah. But, no, the plot was pretty straightforward. It was definitely, we're going to reset time. We're going to get Etta back.
Yeah.
From the point of Peter.
Yeah.
And, so that kind of thing. But, there was a nice kind of goodbye to all of the characters. Yeah. You saw all of the characters and they were fighting so hard. And, the series kind of it really wrapped itself up nicely. And I'm not sure, excuse me, if they had continued with the way that they had the previous season. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
But they kind of wrapped that up.
Because they thought they were going to get canceled.
Yeah, they thought they were going to get canceled. So they had recorded 2 different endings to that season. And the first ending, I think, of the last season is the scene where they kiss.
Yeah.
And...
They added on the kind of cliffhanger where September comes and it's like, the observers are coming.
Yeah, so... And then we got to see everything that happened with the observers. But I think it wrapped up really nicely. I was just kind of... Like, you knew that it was the ending, and there it was, and I don't know that I was personally ready for it to end, despite my constant complaining throughout the season.
What was interesting was, it was just it's a very strange show. It's not like any other show, I think. Like, you can compare elements to different things, but it sort of reinvented itself over and over, and the reason it was able to do that was it had these characters that worked out really well, and these actors who were really... working very well in their roles and were able to do all these things. And the finale sent us back to the alternate universe, which is, I think, everybody's favorite sort of period and plot line in the series. Yeah. So that was good, too, as we spent some time in the alternate universe in the finale. Yeah,
there were a lot of, I don't want to say Easter eggs, but there were a lot of, like, little things, like, sending us back to the alternate universe or the parallel universe. And also just, like, little things like the gas that made people grow skin over all of their orifices.
Yeah, they used, like, all of the Fringe events from past seasons to attack the observers.
I will admit, I was totally cheering when all of the little, like, squid wormy things were exploding out of people. It was kind of fun, and, overall, I think it was good, because it kind of, tied back the original stuff, where it was the poor man's X-Files.
Yeah.
Before it kind of evolved into something more. So that was really fun. And overall, I think I really enjoyed the series finale.
Yeah, and the series as a whole. If you haven't seen Fringe, I think the first season is probably the weakest part, but you should still definitely start at the beginning and check the whole thing out.
Yes, the Science Channel has syndicated Fringe now, so you can actually, they're near the beginning of the first season, so you can actually check it out, and I definitely recommend it as well.
Definitely.
So...
Okay, well, check back in next time for more video reviews and articles and all that great stuff on popcults.com. I'm Dan.
I'm Tiara.
Have a pop cult day.